What's the deal? You already know what it is. Back at this one, another video to pop out to my young boys, baby girls. We back in here, man. We back in here with another video, man. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody is thriving, growing in their spiritual walks and their journeys. And we got to get on here, man, and talk about this situation, dog. For those who don't know, Grizzly, a rapper coming out of the city of Detroit. You know, he's renowned for having one of the best first day out, song drops. Out of all of them, rappers, when they go to jail, they tend to come out and drop a first day out song. He blew up off his first day out song. And that's pretty much, what you got to know about him. But, he's in the news right now because apparently he's been arrested for being tied to the murder of his auntie, which is crazy because, his auntie / manager. And it's crazy because, I remember when this thing first initially happened way back when. I believe this was like some years ago, maybe 2020 or 2019, I'm not sure, or 2021, I don't know. It was somewhere around that time, a couple years ago though. I remember when I initially seen that his auntie was apparently, murdered in a drive-by or whatever. They were saying that Grizzly was the initial target of the drive-by, and his auntie ended up being the one that, died fatally that day. And apparently, now it's coming out in the news that Grizzly may have had something to do with this. And again, initially when this first happened, I'm like, it just don't seem right. It gave the vibe, it gave sacrifice vibes. I'm sorry to say, but that's the vibes it gave. Now, sacrificing people in the industry is nothing new. This stuff has been, going on over the last couple of days. Now we actually had our third death within the blood sacrificing ritual, which was Hulk Hogan, which happened yesterday, I believe. And, before that was Ozzy Osbourne. And before that, it was, I forget his name, but it's the guy that was on the Cosby Show. So, a lot of people have been dropping lately, and it's becoming more and more apparent that the industry is just, it's essentially dark. The industry, once you join the rap industry, the music industry, whatever industry, honestly, the Hollywood industry, sacrifices have to be made in order for people to maintain certain levels of status, certain levels of fame. And a lot of the times, Malcolm Jamal Warner, thank you for that. And, is they have to do certain things in order to essentially maintain their status and fame. And even though these people make sacrifices and all of that stuff in order to maintain their fame or to get certain levels of fame, the devil will still sit up there and spin the block and end up sacrificing you at the end. The devil is the god of Indian giving. He's going to give you all of these things. You're going to make these sacrifices. He's going to give you the world. And he's still going to come to collect and take those things away from you when he comes to take your soul inevitably. So, again, in the music industry, it's no secret that, well, I guess it is still kind of a secret because a lot of people will still say this is a conspiracy in 2025. But when you look at all of these rappers, celebrities, somebody close to these people always end up dying on during a trajectory, like in those initial stages of them becoming famous and them accumulating millions of dollars. Somebody close to these celebrities always end up biting the dust. A few instances that come to mind, Kanye and his mom. Kanye got on stage and said himself that, his mom died for this. He sacrificed her. He basically came out and said it. They'll be like, Kanye crazy though, so you can't say that. But so he's not a good example. But you got Meg Thee Stallion, whose mom died right before she took off. It's so many celebrities, bro. That's just a few off the top of my head. But these celebrities always have somebody close to them that end up biting the dust right before they take off. And it even happens in the YouTube spaces. You got DDG and his brother Nyan. You got Soul Illuminati and his brother dying. Like it happens everywhere. As soon as these people are about to take off, soon right before they blow up, somebody close to these people just dies, and that's just something that's being swept under the rug. It's always looked at as just a coincidence. It has nothing to do with blood sacrifice or anything like that. But yeah, and then now I seen T Grizzly, and he's from the same city as me. So when I sit up there and was initially seeing that he was blowing up and he started getting his initial buzz and fame and all of that stuff, and he started accumulating money, making millions, I seen that his auntie died. And that was going around the news and everything like that. He was in a drive-by happened. He ended up surviving. The auntie ended up dying fatally. And once I seen that, I was like, I'm just like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It's giving them vibes. It's giving sacrifice vibes. But time went on, and everything got swept under the rug. I ain't gonna say swept under the rug. I guess they ended up finding out who did it, and the red flag should have been there. We gonna go to a video and check this out. But apparently, the person who did it was actually affiliated with Lil Durk, who T Grizzly was cool with. T Grizzly dropped a whole collab album with Lil Durk, and T Grizzly was one of the only people. T Grizzly was in the news, in the media, not too long ago, because he was the only person out of everybody that performed at Summer Smash or whatever festival it was. He was the only person to actually shout out Lil Durk and be like, "Free Lil Durk," even though a Lil Durk affiliate is the one that killed his auntie. So people should have started piecing this stuff together. Then I didn't personally know that they found out the person that did it was actually somebody who was OTF. Apparently, that's Lil Durk gang. And T Grizzly and Lil Durk is locked in. Again, they did a whole collab album together. And T Grizzly was the only one that said free Durk when they sat up there when he got arrested. So it's like, it should have been put together like, okay, this is something that was set up. And, these things, it's easy to mask these things inside of street violence, gang violence, and all of that type of stuff with these sacrifices. Because, it's easy to be like, you could be like, well, it could just be a coincidence, because not even necessarily a coincidence, but they were saying that T Grizzly had, since his auntie was his manager, they were saying he had some contractual issues with her, disagreements, whatever. She was taking his money, however that go. But a sacrifice is a sacrifice. They can easily mask this stuff in a lot of different ways. You sit up there and look at Gilly's son, who ended up dying recently. Right before Gilly ended up signing a $100 million deal, or this was shortly after, his son ended up dying in street violence, gang violence, and stuff like that. So it's easy for them to dress these sacrifices up as street and gang violence. Like, that ain't nothing. But we're going to go to this source and check out what's going on. I'm going to go to this content creator. The name of his channel is The Truth Is, and he did kind of like a breakdown of it. I kind of just want to go through it, and then we're going to add some commentary as we going through this. So let's get into this mug right here. Hold on. We're going to go boot, boot. Boot, boot, boot. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull my chat up. Hopefully my computer don't dies on me. Let's do it like this. All right, let's go.
Examining T Grizzly under a microscope, as overnight he became the prime suspect in the death of a woman very close to him. What was once seen as a case of mistaken identity is now looking like a cold-blooded backdoor, with rapper T Grizzly being in the center of it all. Back in 2019, T Grizzly barely survived an attempt on his life that left his aunt JB, who was his manager, dead in his place. Grizzly claimed to not know who did it, and the death remained a mystery.
So again, T Grizzly talking about he don't know who did it. Off rip, that's the first red flag that should have went off, because it's like, how do you don't know who did it? And when it came out that a Lil Durk affiliate actually is the one that did it, like, you saying you ain't never met this guy, you ain't never been around this guy, and you just completely clueless as to who would want to get you whacked. And then again, if it's a Lil Durk affiliate that's trying to get you killed, you should be able to put some kind of pieces together to be like, at the very least, like, okay, maybe Dirk is the one who did this, who orchestrated this, or something like that. Maybe Dirk trying to get me out whacked for some reason. But then that's not what happened. Instead, T sat up there and went to shout out Lil Durk. He said he went in the crowds and was like, he took the opportunity at his festival to play some Lil Durk songs and go free Durk. And he made the whole crowd say free Lil Durk, free Durk, and all of this type of stuff. So, clearly he got some type of loyalty to Lil Durk for some reason. And, I guess we really seeing the reason right now for real. He sat up there and basically helped you get your auntie clapped. So it's like, that's probably where that loyalty is coming from, I'd imagine. But let's keep going.
But now, new details have emerged that seem to point directly at the last person anyone would have suspected of being behind it, T Grizzly. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be diving deep into the mysterious death of T Grizzly's aunt. Let's get right into it. Some would say that JB was almost like T Grizzly's guardian angel, the woman who quit her job and gave up everything to make him a star when no one else believed in him.
His guardian angel, huh? That's crazy. That's some characterization.
JB watched Grizzly go from a nobody to a successful rapper overnight, and it couldn't feel more satisfying for her, as she was the only one who supported his dreams in the beginning. While she knew that helping him would end up making him a star, she didn't know that it would end up costing her her life.
So she sat up there and gave up whatever she had going on to help push this man in his career, help him thrive, and everything like that. Now, we don't know the whole story. It could be some foul play that went on where she could have been finessing him or whatever, taking his bread, however that go. But then, you sat up there and went to the extreme and got your auntie killed, allegedly. That's crazy. That's wild. And then again, even on the lowest end, even if this isn't like a sacrifice situation, which I believe it is, but even in the event that you say, all right, it's not, it's still another lesson that we can learn here, in the fact that the love of many is waxing cold. These is the end times. People is getting more and more cutthroat, more and more cold-hearted. And, the Bible say that your enemies will be that of your own household. You got to watch out who it is that you calling. I ain't gonna say calling, your family or whatever, because it is what it is. They is technically your family, I guess. But you just got to watch out with who you around. The scriptures say that the dark and light, have no business commingling. So if somebody is not on the right frequency, somebody is not going where you going, then stop trying to be all in these people's face and stop trying to be buddy and kumbaya just because y'all are blood related or y'all are, quote unquote family. The Bible say, he who love mother, father, sister, brother more than me is unworthy of me. So, if you sitting up there being all family, and these people is wicked in the inside, if something happened to you, you can't even be mad. But let's go.
With the man she sacrificed everything for now being seen as the prime suspect behind her death, this tragic story of success, betrayal, and murder goes back to the start of T Grizzly's career. Born Terry Sanchez Wallace Jr., T Grizzly grew up in the west side of Detroit, a city plagued by poverty and crime. His mom was in and out of prison. His father was murdered when T was still a teen. With no real structure, Grizzly ended up making the same mistakes many.
Yeah, and that's how it go. His mom in and out of prison, father died early. This guy ain't had no guidance. And we from the same city, so I know what it's like, I ain't in the streets, but I just know what goes on around this mug. And when you ain't got no guidance and you ain't got nobody telling you how to maneuver around this joint, then it's easy to get caught up in the wrong stuff. The Bible also say if you raise up a child, damn, I'm paraphrasing, but the way you raise up a child, if you had them go, they won't depart from the faith. If you raise them up the right way, you teaching them the word, giving them the guidance, when they actually leave, they won't depart from the faith. They'll keep those same principles and and teachings that you instilled on them when they was coming up. But a lot of these kids and stuff coming up nowadays, they ain't got no kind of guidance, no kind of father figures, nobody to point them in the right direction to teach them how to maneuver and what's what. And then they get swept up and get taught by the streets how to move, how to sit up there and make it. And, you know, T Grizzly, I don't know if he's gonna go into T Grizzly origin like that, but T Grizzly came up. He was telling, you know, he was sitting up there robbing and looting. You know, when he first got arrested, he got arrested for robbing a jewelry store. And before he robbed the jewelry store, he was robbing college dorms. So, you know, he been a slimy guy. Like, you know, it is what it is. He been low-key shiesty, slimy, you know, robbing roommates, all sorts of stuff. Like, he ain't had no code for real. He just was out here wilding. But, you know, these is the guys that everybody, you know, look up to. These is the heroes in the city. These the guys that people want to be around. All of that type of stuff. Like, I just know how it go. People sit up there, and when T Grizzly show up, people, you know, they be meat riding. I ain't gonna be fake. They be meat riding. And it is what it is. Everybody want to be around T Grizzly, but T Grizzly ain't sitting up there. He wasn't sitting up there doing nothing righteous. He wasn't out here sitting up there a righteous man, you know, teaching people how to be good people and nothing like that. He was sitting up there finessing, jugging, stealing, killing, all of the bad stuff. So, you know, but these be the heroes in the city. Like, T Grizzly is a hero in Detroit, like, on some crazy stuff. When you really think about it, it'd be like, let's go.
Misguided youth mate, hanging out with the wrong crowd and following a destructive path. Even though T ended up in the streets, he still managed to graduate high school and ended up attending Michigan State University, but sadly not for long. In 2014, he was arrested for a string of robberies on campus. Weeks later, he robbed a jewelry store in Kentucky that got him hit with a sentence of up to 15 years.
Learn Spanish with Real Spanish TV.
Soy Nairobi. Berlín no está en condiciones, así que a partir de...
See?
But in 2016, he got out early, and what he did next would change everything.
That's interesting. Even when you think about that, like, how did he get out early for robbing a jewelry store? And I think he was robbing a jewelry store. I think it was an armed robbery. Like, I think it was armed robbery. He was robbing that jewelry store. So when you think about it, it's like, how did this guy even get out? How did he even get out that situation? And, you know, he made his first day out song. He was bragging about beating that case. He said, I went to trial back to back. I'm 2-0. He said, I went to trial back to back. I'm 2-0. So he robbed a jewelry store after robbing college dorm rooms, and they still let him get out early? He still beat them cases? I don't know. Could he be a Manchurian candidate? And, you know, even saying this stuff even sound it seemed far-fetched. I ain't gonna say it seemed far-fetched, but we gotta use our logic. How do you sit up there and rob college dorms, then proceed to rob a jewelry store, armed robbery, a whole jewelry store, GTA heist, and you beat the cases? How do they let you out? And then as soon as you get out, you drop a song that just blows up, and you just become rich and famous. Like, I don't understand it. Like, could he have been chosen? I don't know. It's something to think about.
He wasted no time. On the same day he was released, October 16, 2016, he recorded First Day Out, a raw emotional track about pain, betrayal, and survival. Within weeks, the song went viral. It was so viral that even LeBron James posted a workout video to it. It didn't take long for the labels to come calling. A deal with 300 Entertainment was quickly signed. T Grizzly became the new face.
So he quickly got signed. LeBron was I remember the video, LeBron was sitting up there recording videos to the song, and LeBron is also a Mason. You know, I was watching a video that was talking about rappers. It was a video talking about why you'll never be a famous rapper, basically. And the video was talking about how a lot of people in the industry that end up coming up in the industry who you think got these rags the richest stories, who come up from nothing, really be having family ties to people who's already in the industry. And there was a lady that was being interviewed who was basically saying Hollywood is like an exclusive club and they're not letting just anybody in. Like, you have to be tied to somebody who's tied to somebody who's already inside of the fraternal order. So again, that's something to think about, because how did this dude sit up there and beat those cases and then immediately drop? He miraculously beat armed robbery charge, and he sat up there, and then as soon as he comes out, he drops a song that instantly goes viral and he gets signed. Like, where does this happen at? Let's go.
Of Detroit rap, but behind all of it was Jobina Brown, known to family and friends as JB. She was more than an aunt. She was T's biggest supporter. When he got locked up, JB was there. When he came home, it was JB who paid for his music video. She signed him and funded his dreams when no one else would. She believed in his talent before he had any fans. She left her job, put her life on hold, and became his full-time manager.
Then she became his manager. We might need to look into who she is, because she might have some ties to some people in the industry. Because what made her qualified to be his manager? Like, where was she working before she decided to become a rapper's manager?
JB wasn't just family. She was the reason T Grizzly became who he is. Sadly, her association with T Grizzly would lead to the end of her life. On August 20th, 2019, T Grizzly, his driver, and JB were riding in a Cadillac Escalade. Around 9 p.m., they parked near the 1900 block of West McNichols Road to stop at a house occupied by T Grizzly's family. According to T Grizzly, JB decided to stay in the car, refusing to enter the house, calling it dirty. T Grizzly then stepped out of the vehicle and walked up to the house. Within seconds of stepping out of the car, an unknown man approached the vehicle. No words, no warning. He opened fire, striking JB, who was sitting in the back seat. She was struck multiple times. She was then rushed to the hospital.
So then somebody just rolls up and guns her down. I mean, I'd imagine the windows is tinted, right? I'd imagine the windows is tinted, but to sit up there and just open fire on I don't know, that whole play just seemed a little sus. That whole play seemed a little suspect to me. They just rolled up and just started letting shots out.
But sadly, she didn't
I don't know,
survive,
I guess that's how
passing away from her injuries at the age of 41. At first, there wasn't...
Because he could easily just, like, I mean, when you think about it, he could easily just get out, be like, she's still in the car. You do what you got to do. I'm getting out. She's still in the car. Do what you got to do. Or he talking about, she didn't want to go in there because the house is dirty. For all we know, it could just be, he could have been like, they could have rolled up. He was like, I'm about to go in here and grab something real quick. Stay right here. I'm about to come right back out. Just stay right here. Yeah, she in there. I mean, shit.
Much information on why this happened. The gunman walked away and disappeared, never to be seen again. No arrests, no leads. It was looking like this was going to be another cold case. JB's family and friends were left grieving with no resolution or explanation. A good woman lost her life and nobody knew why. At the center of it all was T Grizzly, who not only lost...
One high symbolism. I mean, they'll be like, "Oh, that's conspiracy." I mean, while all rappers got a picture of them just with the one eye out. I mean, they all got one. They all got one in their repertoire of photos. More than one a lot of the time. The one eye symbolism. You gotta be able to peek.
Lost his close aunt, but his manager and his day one supporter, the only one who believed in him in the beginning. While initially Grizzly remained rather silent about the situation, a month later he released a song where he addressed it all. The song was called Status, named after JB's middle name. In the song,
we gonna react to this. We gonna react to this song, Because I remember when this came out and I was just listening to it and I'm like, I ain't think nothing of it for real at the time, but this song is like, it's one of them songs where it's like, oh, why you have to go, you know you was my angel, like, it's like, bro. And this is how you know the love of many a wax cold. If he really got her whacked, and then you gonna drop a heartfelt song like you all sorry and stuff, this is that grimy, slimy nature of these guys, bro. This is that slimy nature of these guys. This is just slimy.
He implied that the hit wasn't supposed to be for his aunt, but for him. Rapping in the song, look how they try to do me, but got JB. You saw it wasn't me and still shot. What she do to you? In the track, he seemed to mourn the death of his aunt. He goes as far as to promise to get revenge for her. He even went on to offer $1 million bounty for whoever got rid of who did that to her. The song was based...
Imagine putting out a bounty. Imagine putting out a bounty that you on yourself. Imagine low-key putting out a bounty on yourself, bro. Just to be on some like, yeah, I got $1 million for whoever, and you did it the whole time. That's nasty work. That's nasty work.
Basically what you would expect from a street rapper who lost a loved one to street beef. A hurt man promising to get his get back and further incriminating himself. T Grizzly was left looking for answers, and it seemed he might never get them.
He got a lot of pictures. He got a lot of pictures with the prayer hands. I don't know who was you praying to.
Later, he would end up doing an interview where he spoke about the situation and how she was killed. T confidently claimed that whoever did this was trying to get him, claiming that he heard it all go down from the house and ran outside to check what happened. He even claims he spoke to his aunt on the phone before she passed away.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever. And I'm going off my cousin's house, my older cousin. Mm-hmm. He was real close with my pops, just like my pop's brother. Mm-hmm. And I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you begging her to come in the house? You begging her to come in the house? That seemed a little bit exaggerated. Why is you begging her to come in the house? Why you begging her to come in the house? I don't know.
Certain areas, you just can't, you gotta move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I could go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But
that's a contradiction. How can you go anywhere you want to, but you begging her to come in the house like, you know, and then you in your hood. You should be good. I don't know.
I gotta move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She's like, no. Because JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses.
Okay.
And stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she's just a clean, real clean person.
Okay.
It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So I'm knocking on the door. My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they finally come to the door. As soon as
it's also a little suspect that he's not looking at the person that's interviewing him and he talking about something like serious like this. I don't know. I don't know. He playing the game while he doing the interview. We can't really see him look in the person's eyes who he talking to. I don't know.
I see her. As soon as I see my auntie, mm-hmm. She about to open the door, I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. You know what I'm saying?
Behind you.
Hold on.
Behind me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
She about to open the door, I hear a whole bunch. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie,
mm-hmm.
She about to open the door, I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. You know what I'm saying?
Behind you.
Behind me. I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in the, so what was the vehicle? She was in the car? Like,
she was in the car. She was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on, and to, if somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. So once we got outside, once we got in the front where they was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. Let me ask you. So, you had to enter through the back door or something?
Yeah, I was
okay.
side door.
Okay. I get you. Okay.
But basically, I don't even know what's going on at this point.
Okay.
So we in the front, we looking. I look in the street. I don't see no glass in the street. So I'm like, oh, they straight. You know what I'm saying? That's probably some. I didn't even think this had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
But my cousin still came out there with a gun though.
Mhm.
So I was cool with going out there. I'm like, I ain't see no glass in the street. I'm thinking they heard some shots and pulled off.
Okay.
So now I'm mad now. Like, y'all heard them shots, why would y'all leave me over here?
Right.
You feel me? You could at least call me and told me, like, it's too much going on over here. Come on, we gone. You know what I'm saying? That my driver ended up calling me, like, and told me what happened. So basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas opened my door
Mhm.
trying to get at me. End up hitting her up.
Would they hit her on the body?
They opened my door trying to get at me. How do they know what door is your door? I don't know. How they know you was in the you was in the passenger seat? How they know you wasn't driving this car yourself? I don't know. If they was following you, they would have seen you get out the car. So how do they open? You said she was in the back seat. How do they open the back seat door and think it's you? I don't know.
They hit her on her side and in her arm. She didn't get hit her face.
And then I don't know, bro. Then they opened the door, saying that the person that if they was trying to get him and they just see a random lady, I don't know. And then this dude is from Chicago, so he don't know who this person is. In my head, I'm thinking like he probably don't know who this person is, and he just said, "All right, I can't get him. I opened the wrong door. Let me just shoot up this random chick." Like, I don't know. It's just no logic behind that.
On the body.
They hit her on her side and in her arm. She didn't get hit her face, and just all on her side.
Mhm.
You feel me?
How many
On the
times?
side where her heart at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the side where her heart at too. So she got shot like that before a long time ago. My uncle.
Okay.
His car got shot up, and she got hit in the exact same place, but she lived.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because she went straight to the hospital.
Okay.
My uncle drove straight to the hospital as soon as it happened. But
Was she alive when did she die on the scene or the hospital?
I don't even. I think that no. She died at the hospital. She was still alive. She was still breathing and everything. She called me
She called you?
while she was shot. She called me.
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying.
Oh.
She couldn't really form no words. You know what I'm saying? But for me, because they opened my door.
Okay.
They were shooting in the car. They hit her 8 times though.
Mm. And you have no idea where this came from?
No,
Bro. The fact that he's telling his story, if he really has something to do with this, bro, this is some of the slimiest, shiestiest stuff, bro.
I got no idea where it came from, but it ain't even matter where it came from.
Hold on.
And you have no idea where this came from?
No, I ain't got no idea where it came from, but it ain't even matter where it came from. I felt like everybody was a suspect.
It ain't even matter where it came from. What? You feel like everybody's a suspect, it don't matter where it came from. That sound like this nigga projecting, bro. This nigga projecting, bro. Everybody a suspect. When you the only suspect, everybody the suspect. Ain't that something?
As you heard for yourself, Grizzly claims that he doesn't know who did it, but he knows for sure that it was a hitman for him. Though it was such a tragedy, T. Grizzly eventually found a way to continue his career in his life without his aunt around, continuing his life in the best way he could without her. While Grizzly seemed to move on, JB's other family members couldn't let it go and wanted answers. Answers they finally seemed to have gotten just a few days back when the alleged killer was finally identified. In July 2025, nearly 6 years after the murder, police finally made an arrest. A man known as Wu-Tang or Wu-600, who is reportedly affiliated with Chicago's 600 gang, was arrested and charged with the death of JB. Wu-Tang is deeply connected to Chicago's drill scene and has associations with artists like Buka 600, Little Durk, and others from the Chicago drill scene. When Wu-Tang was arrested, he was caught standing by the stolen rental used as the getaway vehicle in the murder of JB. He also had a gun that matched the suspected gun used in the hit as well.
He still had the stolen rental 6 years later? Hold on.
Was caught standing by the stolen rental used as the getaway vehicle in the murder of JB. He also had a gun that matched the suspected gun used in the hit as well. Wu-Tang, knowing how bad this was, tried to make a run for it but was unsuccessful, and he was taken into custody. Recently, it was even revealed in court that the prosecution has cell phone tower data that pinpoints Wu-Tang's phone location on the day of the shooting, with the location data indicating his phone was...
So, yeah, this don't make no sense. Hold on, I gotta fix this for a sec, yo. This don't make no kind of sense. So this dude basically done. See, this dude basically then got one of Dirk's shooters, one of Dirk hitters, to sit up there and do some damage. Cause there's no way. How else? When you think about it, like it's like, let me fix this camera. It's like, but why else would you sit up there and still be cool with Dirk when one of his associates or whatever is responsible for, you know, what happened to your auntie? That's just like a super red flag. That's a red flag. T Grizzly was one of the only people that was talking about everybody say free Dirk. 1, 2, 3, free Dirk. And then I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe he ain't know. Maybe he didn't know at the time.
In the same location JB was killed, with records indicating he was there for over 2 hours waiting for their arrival. Now, this Wu 600
over 2 hours waiting for their arrival is crazy. And this dude is from Chicago. How on earth would this dude know that they about to sit up there and pull up to this dude's cousin house in Detroit?
involvement in all of this left people with the question of why. Why would a gang member from Chicago be the man responsible for the death of T Grizzly's aunt in Detroit? It just made no sense. What was the connection between Wu-Tang and JB? Well, this is when things take a sharp turn and the spotlight is put on T Grizzly. See, over the years, T Grizzly managed to make connections with a few rappers in the Chicago drill scene. Rappers like Little Durk and one by the name of Buka 600. Grizzly seemed to be rather close to Buka 600, not only making songs with him, but having a personal close friendship. Buka 600 was even invited to Grizzly's wedding, where he was one of his groomsmen. This is
I need a sound bite. And when Future be like, it's an evil world we live in. I need that sound bite. Cause it's an evil world we live in.
This is all important because Buka 600 is a part of a violent, infamous Chicago gang called 600, which just so happens to be the same gang JB's killer Wu 600 or Wu-Tang is a part of. Now this seems to be the only connection between T Grizzly and JB's killer Wu-Tang. So it's simple, right? T Grizzly at some point must have started beefing with Buka 600 and the 600 gang, with Wu-Tang being sent in to take out Grizzly's aunt.
Are you a Roblox fanatic? Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you to earn digital gift cards.
I don't know.
But after looking into that, that wasn't the case. Because even after his aunt died, T Grizzly has remained close friends to Buka 600, calling him his brother on social media and
Right. Like, even shouted out Lil Durk and all of that. Like,
still doing songs with him. In fact, Grizzly kept on hanging out with Buka 600 even after people started spreading the rumor that Wu 600 killed his aunt. When fans and internet detectives saw this, they started to re-examine everything, and T Grizzly started looking more and more guilty. People started analyzing his story of what happened that night, claiming the killer only took out his aunt because he wasn't in the car. But now we know the killer was waiting there for 2 hours before Grizzly and JB arrived at the location, which means the killer would have seen Grizzly get out of the car and would have had an opportunity to get him. Grizzly is a very big dude. It's hard to believe this man would have missed him walking out of the car. Either he's blind or he wasn't there to kill T Grizzly. People also started pointing out the story T Grizzly gave, where he confidently claims the hit was meant for him, not for his aunt, but then claims to have no idea who was behind it. How do you know the hit was meant for you, but you don't know who did it?
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's just the logic right there. I mean, that just don't make sense. That just don't make sense, man. That just don't make no sense.
People also point at the lyrics to the tribute song to his aunt, where he promises retaliation and offers $1 million bounty. If he were really planning on getting revenge, why would he advertise it and document it on a song? It made no sense. It was like he wanted to appear like he was the most hurt about it all. People also bring up the video of him telling the story during the interview. T Grizzly seems really uninterested, answering questions about the death of his aunt, instead of giving the conversation the respect and attention it required when talking.
Right, that's what I just said. Like, why is you sitting up there playing the game, playing PS4? I don't know if the PS5 was out at the time, but why is you sitting up there playing the game? Or just, yeah, then, you know, they really wanted me, but then they opened my door and seen her, then they just shot her. Like, bruh.
About the death of a loved one, T Grizzly answered questions while playing Call of Duty. All of this made T Grizzly look rather suspicious. So now people started asking the question, was JB mistaken for someone else? Or was this a hit on her set up by T Grizzly himself? This left people questioning.
That's nasty work, bro. That is nasty work.
T Grizzly's close association with Buka 600 and the 600 gang, looking into the disturbing possibility that T Grizzly could have approached his Chicago friends, known for their violent ways, to eliminate his own aunt. But why? Why would T Grizzly want to get rid of his aunt? Well, it could all be connected to the root of all evil, the love of money. Remember, JB wasn't just Grizzly's aunt, she was also his manager and had him under a recording contract. JB was who initially funded Grizzly's career. She owned part of his brand. She was making money off every dollar T Grizzly made in music, which back then was a lot of money. She reportedly controlled a major portion of T's business. She could have easily had a massive split in his recording contracts, even owning some of his publishing rights and royalties. With her gone, T Grizzly gains full control and cut her out of the profits. When you add that to the fact that it took 6 years to name a suspect, and the suspect is from a city Grizzly had ties to and was also a part of a gang he's friends with, people start asking the question, did T Grizzly set this up? Is he the missing key in solving this mystery? Right now, Wu 600...
And it's crazy because T Grizzly been on this kind of like ride off into the sunset kind of vibe. Like, his music still do really good numbers when he upload on YouTube. He got the Twitch thing going, which is he got his own GTA server on Twitch. He making a lot of money off of that. And he had recently just got married. And T Grizzly he was being touted as, he was somebody who made it, and he riding off into the sunset. Got millions of dollars. He able to play the game on Twitch. He really ain't even got to do the rapping like that, but he still rap, make good money, get good views on rap, got a good fan base. And again, he just got married and all of this stuff. He was giving ride off into the sunset vibes. Every time you see T Grizzly, it's like, oh, he doing his thing, happily ever after. And the devil got to come to collect, man. That's just how it goes. The devil has to come and collect. These guys are not going to get their ride off into the sunset story that they want. Look at Malcolm Jamal Warner. These guys, when you sit up there and get into the industry, you just can't leave. You can't have your ride off into the sunset moment where you can start building a family and live happily ever after. When T Grizzly wedding pictures came out, I remember that day vividly. It was really giving happily ever after vibes. Like, damn, he really sat up there and made it and happily ever after. But it's like, no, the devil got to come to collect. And now he's sitting up there getting arrested. And he's about to be known as the guy that set his own auntie up for the kill, bro. Like, this is crazy.
Is in custody, and he is being charged with JB's death. Detroit police say they're building their case, with everyone waiting to see what comes out of this. While as of right now, we don't have the answers.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I will say, T. Grizzly is looking rather suspicious. He recently came out and vaguely denied the allegations, telling people not to believe everything they see on the internet.
That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the internet?
Who is he looking at? He said, and this is a gaslighting strategy for sure. He said, so you think you can't get fooled by the internet? Ain't nobody said that. We just think we can't get fooled by you right now. So you think you can't get fooled by the internet? That's not true. Hold on.
That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the internet?
Is he scratching? Oh, this look guilty. Oh no. I know you ain't scratching, looking away from the camera, asking us, so you think you can't get fooled by the internet? That ain't got nothing to do with you. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So you think you can't get fooled by the internet? Who said that? Address what we talking about.
But in this case, it's pretty hard when the evidence seems to point a big arrow in his direction. We know the music industry is dark and is known for its evil ways. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if T. Grizzly is truly behind this all. One thing that seems clear, JB didn't deserve this, especially not by the hands of a man she was willing to sacrifice everything for. JB was more than an aunt and a manager to T. Grizzly. She was the heart of his story. Her death was tragic, but was it more than a case of mistaken identity? Was she really caught in the crossfires, or was she sacrificed for the love of greed? JB deserves justice for her family, and so her soul can truly rest in peace. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I wanted to...
That's nasty work, bro. I want to briefly go to this song that he made after she died.
Come on, Charlie.
Just so y'all can get another understanding of just how grimy this is. If he really had something to do with this, bro, then you sitting there dropping songs like these. Let me take the speed
Loved
up.
each other way more than we love life. We're so close, people thought we had a love life. We loved each other way more than we love life. Still do.
We loved each other way more than we loved life.
AJB. I used to be like, I don't need security. I don't want these niggas thinking that it's fearing me. Told my driver be on point, he wasn't hearing me. Shots went off, I'm steady calling, you ain't answering, you scaring me. Hello?
Them shots went off, I'm steady calling, you ain't answering, you scaring me.
In my city, if you winning, you can't stay. They call being broke real, they call getting money fake. I gave you a bitch, why you still looking at my date? I gave you some food, why you still looking at my plate, nigga?
Blame the city. Now you gotta blame the city, man. And that's crazy because this goes back into what I was just saying in my last video when it comes to the bones and the powers that be wanting the bones to stay dry. This is all part of manifesting your reality. Like, and I ain't saying when you get money, you know, I am kind of saying that though, but obviously when you get money and you sitting up there and you got it and it's the devil's money and you sitting up there flexing Satan bread, yeah, you're going to have to look over your shoulder. You're going to have to feel a type of way about the way you moving around the city and everything like that when you got all these enemies, when you live in a lifestyle that's just full of being shiesty and sliming people out and taking advantage of people and not looking out for people that helped you get into certain positions and all of that stuff. That was another thing, you know. T. Grizzly, he was into it with, I ain't gonna say into it, but you know, it was a while where he was apparently beefing with another city rapper, All Star JR, because All Star JR, he was a part of that gang. All Stars, Ball Hard, you know, this is a little bit of Detroit lore, but he was part of that gang or something like that. And then when T Grizzly essentially got big, he damn near left all of these guys in the dust. Some of these guys, you know, I ain't even gonna go into all of that, but you know, I just know that some of these guys are bitter about it. You know, some of these guys, you know, they be like, you know, they at the point where they're like, you know, T doing this thing, you know, I love that I was a part of his journey and his story or whatever. But you know, these guys low key feel the type of way that you done made them millions and you ain't sat up there and looked out for none of them. You ain't looked out for none of them. I don't know if you haven't to this day, but I know when I sat up there and talked to some of these people, you know, they felt the type of way. They felt the type of way that he sat up there and took off and didn't get them nothing. So it's like, you know, when you sit up there living like that and you ain't giving back to the people and all of that helped you at your times in need, yeah, you're gonna sit up there and be moving around like paranoid because you think something is gonna happen to you and you feel like everybody around you is ready to slime you out because you're slimy. That's just how it goes. But that's a reality that you created. That's a reality that you manifested on your own. So, you know, that's just something to think about.
They say they love us, but that love might be hate. I can't really tell the difference. Salt and sugar look the same. Look how they did Dex. Look how they did Blade. Look how they tried to do me, but got JB. Man, that jealousy.
Look how they did Dex. Look how they did Blade. Exo signed with Blade Icewood. Some other Detroit rap legends. But, you know, I don't even want to... This is what we glorify, though. I don't even want to say Detroit rap legends, because we need better legends than this. You know, no disrespect to these guys. You know, they ain't worried about what's going on. You know, shout out to Newbury. He be saying that. Like, people be like, oh, you can't don't disrespect the dead and all of this type of stuff. Bro, they're not worried about nothing that we talking about. They ain't worried about nothing we talking about. But, like, yeah, we call these guys our legends and stuff like that. And what they done did. What did these guys do? What did they do besides jump on the mic, talk about killing and death and die? Like, I'm sorry, but what did they do for real? What did they do?
He's so real, man, they hate so deep.
And then this dude still got guns around him in the video. He ain't talking about, man, let's put the guns down, let's do some positivity, get in your Bibles, let's unite, let's sit up there and put our resources together. They ain't talking about nothing. This is another song talking about, oh, you about to die. You're gonna die, I'm gonna kill you. You know, Auntie just died, now you're gonna die. Whoa. Ooh. Like, bro. This ain't it, bro.
Look how they did Blade. Look how they tried to do me, but got JB. Man, that jealousy so real, man, that hate so deep. Man, that envy shit so real. You make it out these streets, you saw it wasn't me and still shot. What she do to you?
You saw it wasn't me, but still shot. What she do to you?
Man, that envy shit so real. You make it out these streets, you saw it wasn't me and still shot.
Why? See, this the thing. Even with that right there.
So real, man, that hate so deep. Man, that envy shit so real. You make it out these streets, you saw it wasn't me and still.
Why? See, this is not the frame. If you talking about somebody who shot your auntie, right? Let's just think about this. If you're talking about somebody who shot your auntie, and you're recording a music video, right? When you get to this bar where you say you saw it wasn't me and you still shot, why would you sit up there and do the gunshot thing? This is what they do when they sit up there and they're talking about shooting somebody else. So we gotta, like, this is not a reach. Like we really gotta break this down. So you're reenacting being the person who shot your auntie in this moment. You saw one to me and still shot. So right now you're reenacting the person. Right now he's embodying the person who shot his auntie. It was all there the whole time. It was really all there the whole time. I didn't really put too much attention into this when it was happening, but you know, if we did our own detective work back in the day, like, this is suspect. Why would you saw one man still shot? Why is you reenacting being the person who shot?
What she do to you?
Truth in plain sight.
We was just winning, now I'm crying at your funeral. But every tear I shed, another 1,000 on your head, niggas.
Every tear I shed, another 1,000 on your head.
I saw your face and think I'm playing, nigga. Every tear I shed, another 1,000 on your head, boy.
On his daddy grave. So he put it on his daddy grave.
I saw your face and think I'm playing, AJB. I wish I was sitting outside with you and I was in that back with you, you know.
And even when people do stuff like this, I don't be like, this stuff be suspect too, bro. How do you have a music video funeral? Like, I wish I would, bro. Bro. Something happened to me, bro. Do not sit up there and make a music video at my funeral. Like, don't sit up there and shoot a music video at my funeral. You sitting up there recording people being all sad, the casket going down, and it's just like this music video talking about the same violence that got her whacked. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand society, bro. I don't get it.
Your favorite rapper wouldn't never let them guys get you. I would've shot them, left them dying, leaking in the street. Wouldn't have ran with smoke the rich and watch that man go to sleep. Hey, you think they came for her? Man, you know they came for me. They took.
He said, you think they came for her, man? You know they came for me.
My heart and my brains, niggas know that I can't think. I'm playing with these drugs, niggas know I'm like Tay Keith. Eyes bloodshot red, niggas know I ain't been sleep.
Ugh. That looked like a damn demon. Man, facts, man. Cause what?
All these dead loved ones make it hard to sleep. All this anger inside make it hard to breathe. All this nicotine make it hard to breathe. All these tears in my eyes make it hard to see.
Not the fake cartoon tear. The cartoon tear?
Breathe. All this nicotine make it hard to breathe. All these tears in my eyes make it hard to sleep.
This nigga smoking a cigarette?
They found a murder weapon, bro, it's gonna be hard to beat. First offer 50 years, so it's hard to plead. Hey, if they do something to us, then they known for it. But if
PNB Rock in the cut? Aw. PNB was still alive at this time? PNB Rock was blood sacrifice. If y'all sit up there and go in my archives and try to find that PNB Rock video, that's when I was on my gematria timing. I did a whole breakdown on PNB Rock situation. I did the numbers and everything. 'Cause PNB Rock was for show sacrifice. That's crazy. He in this video making a cameo.
If we do something to them, then we wrong for it. Fuck that. If you take mine, I take yours, homie. Then go pray to the Lord. Don't be too hard on me. You drop one, I drop four on me. Then be like, God, please don't be too hard on me. Turn this bitch up, they gon' say I'm dead wrong. Fuck that, these niggas got my auntie with a headstone. Niggas telling me what to do like they smart as me. But they ain't take your heart from you, they took my heart from me.
They took your heart from you.
I got one less person that wanted more from me. Ready to kill whoever played with me or shorted me. I got
one less person that wanted more from him. This has gotta be the slimiest stuff ever, bro.
Your kids, I got 90, I got nailed too. I got your babies, Kenzie and Gabrielle too.
Oh, not you got her babies. Not you got her babies.
I got your sister and your mama and your fam too. How the fuck you gon' down me? I can't stand you.
What? 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 How do you put this in a song about your heart? How you down me? I can't stand you. You the reason, according to you. You saying they was trying to get you when they got hurt. What you mean? How you gonna say how you down me? I can't stand you. And you supposed to be a grieving nephew who feels like this is your fault. Oh, this just don't make no sense. This just don't make no sense. Hold on, we gotta go back. He said, how you down me? I can't stand you.
I got your sister and your mama and your fam too. How the fuck you gon' down me? I can't stand you. I pray they don't go to jail, I want them dead. I'm just listening to the streets, hearing everything they saying. I'm just waiting on the name, I'm just praying that they say it. Give a fuck if it's the mayor, nigga, million on his head. Hey. Wish I can wake you up and beat your ass, cause I was just telling you about.
What? I can't stand you. I wish I could wake you up and beat your ass. See, the thing is, why does it sound like he sounds like he really means that? Like, I can't be the only one catching that. Like, it really sounds like he means that. Like, when he's saying that, it's really sounding like he mean it, bro.
On his head,
like, that sounds like animosity on the low.
Hey, wish I can wake you up and beat your ass, cause I was just telling you about them dreams I had.
Dreams?
Niggas snatch my heart on my chest, can't nobody replace it. When they ain't believe.
Niggas snatch my heart on my chest, I can't replace it. Oh, no.
You was fucking with your baby, make your tea good, all I ever heard you saying. Tryna hold my head, I don't know if I'ma make it. This shit been eating me. I don't know what you seen in me, but you believed in me. Tell them keep that fake love, let me grieve in peace. But, hey.
Oh my gosh. This is hard to get through, bro. It's hard to get through. Hey, y'all that's in here, make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Make sure y'all hit the like as y'all tapping in, bro. Please. It's free, man. I gotta sit up there and get through this the fakest shit ever, bro. Oh my goodness.
You drop mines, I drop yours, homie. Yeah. You drop one, I drop four, homie. Then be like, God, please don't be too hard on me. God, please don't close the door on me.
I ain't gonna lie, man, that door probably closed. Already, bro. I ain't even... Door more than likely closed, man. My camera about to die. We might as well wrap right there, man. That's the video. I wanted to go to Sada Baby, his interview where he was talking about, you know, how much he loved Auntie and everything like that, and how much he rocked with her, and he was upset when she died, when he found out she died. But we ain't gonna make it to that. But that's the video, man. T Grizzly, man. T Grizzly, man. Apparently, he's allegedly, you know, he got his auntie clapped out here, man. Y'all gotta keep y'all heads up. Y'all gotta keep y'all heads on the swivel. Y'all gotta make sure y'all stand in y'all word. Y'all gotta make sure y'all not mixing the light with the dark. If you are one who carries the light, then you gotta maneuver as such. You can't be sitting up there all in your family face, all in your friends' face, your quote-unquote friends, just because you believe that, you know, y'all supposed to have this bond, y'all supposed to be locked in. If that person not walking with the Most High, if you know that person is not trying to live a lifestyle that seek repentance, then leave that person alone, bro. It's time for you to get on your narrow path and cut these people off, bro, because they're not going where you're going. Where the Most High is trying to take you, they're not going, and you can end up being a casualty of war out here. You can end up being a casualty. Same way that T Grizzly got on here singing and harmonizing, please, they took my heart from me. Them to be the same people that do the same to you. They'll be like, oh, he took my heart from me. What I'ma do? Let me grave in peace. And the whole time they had something to do with it, bro. It's a slimy, evil world we in, bro. The love of many shall wax cold. That's the video for today, though. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. More content on the way. I love y'all. Take care. Stay safe. I'm on y'all, boys.
One more treat, bitch, I'm gone. One more heat, bitch, I'm gone. Brand new wheat, bitch, I'm gone. Brand new crib, yeah, I'm home. Bitch, we home, yeah, we grown. One more treat, bitch, I'm gone. One more hit, bitch, I'm gone. One more hit, yeah, we gone. Yeah.